Hello and welcome back to the channel, and we are back with another Fantastic Beasts breakdown, and this is likely going to be the last one before I actually see the movie. At the time of recording this is actually Friday night for me, so this is actually a week before I will be going to see the movie, and I'm getting very excited now, and I cannot wait to see if any of my predictions that I've made are going to come true. We were lucky enough this week to receive another featurette, and that was called Unlocking Dumbledores Past. Now there are some really interesting shots in this featurette that I will be breaking down, and I think we actually do get a shot of the Blood Pact being destroyed. We also got the world premiere in London, and there was a few little cheeky extras that we received from some of the actors about what their characters are doing in the movie and some of the plot lines, which I will go into. Unfortunately, I think they were briefed not to say too much about the movie itself, so we didn't get a lot of information. If you like these breakdowns, then obviously check out my previous ones that I have done around all of the featurettes and trailers that we've received for the film. And of course, also check out my full breakdowns of the Hogwarts Legacy trailers that we've got as well. As always, I want to thank you all so much for the support that I'm receiving on this channel. It took a year to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we're already at 1,500 after just a couple of weeks. And I cannot thank you guys enough. It means the world to me. But enough of this waffle, let's get on with this trailer breakdown. So there's actually four main sequences that we're going to be looking at today, and the first one unfortunately does not give us a lot of information, but I thought I would show you the scenes from it. And that is the scene where Dumbledore appears to meet Grindelwald in this cafe. Again, I'm not sure if this is actually going to take place in a real location, or if it is actually going to be part of some sort of dream sequence or some sort of projection sequence where they meet psychically. The only thing I've noticed is we do get a few extra scenes of when Grindelwald walks in and also Dumbledore showing him the Blood Pact. Now, the first scene that we actually get a look at some really interesting new features is going to be the scene with Dumbledore and Aberforth having a conversation in the Hog's Head. I believe this is going to take place after Dumbledore has confronted Credence in the street, as Dumbledore seems to already have a feather from the phoenix that has produced itself to Credence. I would imagine they will be talking about who Credence is, and this could be where we get the reveal as to who Credence actually is going to be. Dumbledore shows Aberforth this phoenix feather, and Aberforth's face says that he is very aware of something that's going on. It will be interesting to see if this phoenix does turn out to be Fawkes, if this potential feather here could be one of the wand cores that we know end up in Harry and Voldemort's wand. And also of noting in this scene, we do get a better look at the original writing we saw in the mirror, and it does appear to say, "Do you know what it's like to be alone?" Now again, this could potentially be Credence writing to Aberforth about the fact that he's alone and has no family. But I guess we will only have a very short wait now to find out exactly what that means. The next season we're going to take a quick look at, as there's not much detail in it, is going to be Newt, Eulalie and Jacob walking through what I believe is going to be Germany, and this is possibly going to be after the scene that takes place in the German Ministry of Magic. Dumbledore uses his gloves trick that we see from the last film and uses it to direct these three to him. Now, the main sequence that I wanted to break down, and again I have gone through this and put it into the order that I believe it's going to be, is some of the shots that we now get from this final battle at the top of the temple. Now, one shot we get initially at the beginning is showing that Aberforth actually does come on this adventure with them, even though we don't see him in the Room of Requirements, so it's interesting to see how he does actually get there. Now, these are the scenes that I've put into the order that I believe they're going to be in, and I will explain that for you as we go through them. So initially, all of these people are gathering around Grindelwald, and it looks like he may have just potentially won the election or has possibly hijacked the election. At the top of this staircase, he is looking down on all of this crowd. It would appear that he then draws his wand. I would imagine that some conversation is going to happen, but then during this conversation, Grindelwald then brandishes his wand, and I would imagine it goes to attack someone. This then causes all of the people on the other side to draw their wand in response. However, I think that at this moment, Grindelwald is going to attack some character, and we are yet to know who that is. But Dumbledore then steps in and fires his own blocking charm, as we see here. At this moment, both of them are then taking conscious effort to go against each other, and we can then see the Blood Pact breaking. This appears to be the same scene, because as you can see at the top here, this is a Dumbledore's wand, as you can see the rune on the bottom of it. Just for more information about this rune, this is actually the rune for the letter D, which obviously makes sense for Dumbledore, but its meaning is also very interesting to this scene as well. This rune stands for the day, the dawn, or an awakening, and it also stands for a cataclysmic change. And at this moment there is an awakening for both Dumbledore and Grindelwald as they break the blood pact and they can now fight each other. They do awaken into war with each other, which is obviously going to be a massive cataclysmic change. As you can see in this scene, as Dumbledore is casting this spell, and I would imagine the spells intertwine, the blood pact starts to unravel and the chain unlatches from Dumbledore's wrist. We then get this shot, and I believe this is going to be at that moment with Grindelwald looking at the blood pacts. As you can see, the light from the blood pact lighting his face and his eyes, and Dumbledore here in his eyes is looking at the same glowing object and his face is lit by it. We then see the blood pact explode in white light. There appears to be 3 beams of light in the background, so it would appear that Grindelwald is actually firing a spell at one person and 2 people are potentially blocking this spell. This will then obviously lead to them being able to fight each other and lead on to this scene that we see. Dumbledore is in a different position at this moment, so this is not the same confrontation, but probably later on in the fight. Finally, one last new scene that we get, which doesn't give us much detail, but I think will be right at the end of the movie. It's going to be this shot of Dumbledore in what I believe is going to be America. Now in the background we do see a horse and carriage, and initially I thought potentially this was going to be a funeral. However, if you look at Dumbledore's face, he seems very happy. He could be remembering a good time with the person who has died. However, this could also potentially be a wedding, and it could be the wedding of Jacob and Queenie, as we do know from my last breakdown that they get back together and are seen together in the final battle. And now just a quick breakdown of some of the information that we got from the world premiere and the interviews with the cast. Again, I think they were very much briefed on the fact they weren't allowed to talk about the movie too much at all, to the point that Catherine Waterston even refused to mention anything. However, the question that was posed to her at this time was where was her character at the beginning of this story, as she had received a promotion. So it'd be interesting to see what that promotion is and how it explains her absence in the trailers. Dan Fogler was very charismatic during the whole event and was brilliant during the interviews. He did make reference to the fact that Jacob was not able to control the magic during the scene in the banquet hall. Jacob is potentially channeling the magic. Whether he is creating it or not, we are yet to find out. When Victoria Yates was being interviewed, the main thing of note that she said was the film was about true love and the sacrifices that you make for love. And I think potentially here she is obviously referencing about Queenie and Jacob, and hopefully the sacrifice that Queenie has made is not too much and they will end up back together. Jude Law, when he was interviewed, said that Dumbledore was in the same place that he was at the end of the last movie and was trying to find a way around the blood pact. When Mads Mikkelsen was asked about his character, he said that Grindelwald is trying to make the world a better place, but he's going about it in a wrong way. And I think that makes a brilliant villain, because a villain who thinks what he is doing is right is always a great villain. You could see that in Thanos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Eddie Redmayne was very interesting and gives me hope for one of my theories for this film. He says that his character starts out in China and he is looking for an incredibly important creature. Hopefully this is important to destroy the blood pact, as I have predicted, but I believe this is going to be in reference to the Qilin that we see in the trailers. He also described this movie as a wizard heist similar to the Ocean's films, and also described it as something similar to Indiana Jones, which sounds fantastic to me. And finally, Jessica Williams was just amazing during these interviews. She is a Wizarding World fan and has said that she has been since the 3rd grade, and she is just loving being a part of this world, and I just absolutely love her energy. She didn't say anything to give away, but I just wanted to say how awesome she was. So there we have it. That is the breakdown of the final featurette that we've received for the Secrets of Dumbledore, and there is quite a bit of information in there. As always, if you like this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. If you know anybody else who's interested in anything else at Wizarding World, then send them this way, because we do cover all sorts of Harry Potter videos here. We do theories, we do breakdowns, and we also do Wizarding World news. And coming up soon, we will be doing some live streams with quizzes, and we will also be doing some future episodes where we will be playing the Hogwarts Legacy game. I do apologise for anybody that I caught out during my April Fool's joke, but I did have great fun reading all your comments. But that is it for this video, and I do hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. But until then, mischief managed.